Sleep makes you lose weight? You probably thought until now that your craving for candy and cookies was just a sign of mental weakness and lack of willpower on your part. You might be wrong. We see it in this video. Ciao! My name is Mike from Herbalife Changing Formulas team, and I guide people get in shape quickly and easily. Subscribe to the channel and click on the bell so you can be updated on new videos and contents. And if you'd like to get started on your fitness journey with us, click on the link in the description and get access to your nutritional breakfast kit and all the bonuses that will get you to your perfect shape. Growing evidence now show that lack of sleep is associated with weight gain and obesity. Here's what researchers have discovered about the relationship between sleep and weight. According to University of Chicago study, people who get little sleep eat more simple carbohydrates than those who get enough sleep. Researchers studied 12 healthy men in their early 20s and found that when they slept only 4 hours a night, they tended to choose to eat candy, cookies, and cake instead of fruits, vegetables, or dairy products. For this study, published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, the researcher also looked at two hormones, leptin and ghrelin, that are regulated by sleep and involved in appetite. Leptin and ghrelin coordinate to control feeling of hunger and fullness. Ghrelin levels rise to signal to the brain that you are hungry, and then leptin levels rise to tell the brain when you are full. Researchers measured leptin and ghrelin levels before the study, after 2 nights of 10 hours sleep, and after 4 hours of sleep, the proportion of ghrelin went up to 71 compared to nights when the subject got more sleep. So the men were hungrier and tended to consume more simple carbohydrates. As explained in other videos on this channel, eating simple carbohydrates causes blood sugar levels to spike, but then plummet, leaving you feeling depleted and fatigued. In a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers had subjects sleep for 5.5 hours for 2 weeks and then 8.5 hours for 2 more weeks in casual order. They then measured how many snacks were consumed by the subject while in the lab. And when the subject slept only 5.5 hours, they took in an average of 221 more calories through carbohydrates-rich snacks than when they slept 8.5 hours. These patterns are also found in reality and not just researchers' labs. According to the 2009 Sleep in America survey, those who have trouble sleeping are nearly twice as likely to fill up on sweets and simple carbohydrates like chips to sustain themselves throughout the day. Sleeping less makes you eat more high-calorie sweets instead of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. It also makes you taking more calories overall, increasing your risk of gaining weight and becoming obese. A study by Case Western University researchers tracked the sleep patterns and weight fluctuation of 183 women for the 16 years. The women were divided into 3 categories. Some slept 7 hours per night, some 6 hours, and some 5 hours or less. They found that women who slept for 5 hours or less per night gained more weight over time and were the most likely to become obese. And women who slept only 6 hours per night were more likely to gain extra pounds than those who slept 7 hours per night. Dozens of other studies have found a link between lack of sleep and weight gain or obesity. For example, researchers at the University of Warwick in England analyzed data from more than 28,000 children and more than 15,000 adults and found that insufficient sleep corresponded to nearly double the risk of obesity in both categories. Another study conducted by researchers at Stanford University found that people who sleep less have higher BMI, body mass index levels. Stanford University also found lower leptin levels and higher ghrelin levels in those who slept less. Researchers looked at the 1,000 people, measuring their sleep patterns, hours of sleep in the night before the exam, and levels of leptin and ghrelin. They found that those who slept most of the time 5 hours per night or less had, on average, 14.9 more ghrelin, which stimulates appetite, and 15.5% less leptin, which communicates satiety on the brain, than those who slept 8 hours per night. These tools show that when you don't get enough sleep, you are hungrier and don't feel full, regardless of how much you eat, so you eat more and gain weight. So, if sleeping less makes you fat, it is possible that getting enough sleep makes you thinner. The editor of Glamour magazine decided to put this notion to the test with an unscientific but nonetheless fascinating study. They enlisted 7 female readers by giving them a simple task: sleep at least 7.5 hours a night for 10 weeks. They were also required not to make any significant changes in their diet or workout plans during these 10 weeks. The results were incredible. All of women lost weight ranging from a low of 5 pounds to an amazing height of 7 pounds. It's clear that, as I've explained in another video, it's not just sleeping less that will get you into your perfect shape. It will be an integral part of your new lifestyle. Sleeping well involves having a physique that works well, which then will eat well, because it will feel the need to feed on the right things. It will feel the need to discharge the energy that accumulates, and then you start doing sports. Here's that. In addition to feeding yourself in the right food, the need to supplement with natural ingredients will be increasingly necessary. Studies say as food fails to provide all that your body needs. Now, you have one more tool in your toolbox to chisel your body into the most beautiful sculpture ever. Clicking the link below to begin your journey with me and all the people who have already started with the Changing Formula team. I'll be waiting for you in there on the most beautiful team in the world. And remember, you are just one shake away. Ciao.